Good morning children. This is class 10th, subject English, chapter 9th, BHOLI. This chapter is given in Footprints Without Feet book, and this is my lecture 1. Topics that today we are going to cover in this lecture are: first of all, we shall read about the chapter 9, BHOLI. Then we shall read its introduction, means introduction of the chapter. After introduction, we shall read about the characters, about the main characters of this chapter. And at last, we shall discuss overview of the chapter, means the complete summary of this chapter BHOLI. So let us start with about the chapter. About this chapter, BHOLI. BHOLI is the name of this chapter, and this chapter is written by K.A. Abbas. This is the story of Sulekha. It is a name of a girl. She is a young girl who was actually neglected by all. She was neglected by all, but education transforms her. Education changed her completely. It inspires courage and confidence in her. So we are going to read how education changes a girl who was neglected by all. She raises her voice for her rights. So let us read introduction of this chapter. Introduction of this chapter BHOLI. BHOLI is a story written by K.A. Abbas. The story revolves around a girl who, due to accidental fall and disease in her childhood, faces the problem of being dull and ugly. She is always a target by everyone for not being good looking and intelligent. Means this story is about a simple girl named BHOLI. Her real name was Sulekha. Fate had deceived her when she was 10 months old. She fell off the coach, damaging some part of her brain. That's why she was neglected by all. That's why she was called BHOLI. Her life, means BHOLI's life, changes when she joins a nearby school where her teacher encourages her and helps her to become a learned and confident person. Later in the story, circumstances arise where BHOLI has to give acceptance to the marriage with an unequal match. But she rejects it when she sees her father pleading to the bridegroom when he demands dowry. So the story shows the rise of a girl against social injustice. So in beginning, BHOLI got agree to get married with an unequal match just for her parents, but later on she rejects it as she sees her father pleading or begging to the bridegroom when he demands dowry. So she raises her voice against this social injustice. Now about the characters of this chapter. The main character of this chapter is BHOLI. Her real name is Sulekha and she is Nambardar Ramlal's youngest daughter. She is the youngest daughter of Ramlal, who was Nambardar in the village. School education changes her outlook towards life. Next character, Ramlal, Bholi's father. He is a prosperous father of 7 children who has a narrow mindset. Ramlal was of narrow-mindedness. For him, daughters are born for marriage only. So he thought that daughters are to be married only. They are not supposed to get any education. This was his mindset. Now next. Next character. It is Bholi's mother. She is a typical conservative mother. She does not take proper care of Bholi. She doesn't take care of Sulekha, means Bholi. The next is Bholi is a school teacher. She educates Bholi and encourages her. Then next character is Bishambar, Bholi's prospective husband, who is a greedy man and a dowry seeker. So these are the main characters. We have read Bholi, then Bholi's father Ramlal, then Bholi's mother. She is a typical conservative mother. She doesn't take care of Bholi. Then Bholi is a school teacher who turns her life completely. She educates Bholi and she encourages her a lot to attend the school regularly. Then Vishambar, Bholi's prospective husband, who is a greedy man. So now let us move ahead. Now overview of this chapter. Let us read. First heading is brief introduction. Brief introduction of this chapter as well as Bholi, as the chapter name is Bholi, because the complete chapter revolves around this character Bholi. Bholi was one of 7 children of Ramlal. Ramlal is a well-to-do man, means a wealthy person, as he is the nambardar of the village. So Ramlal was a prosperous man. There was no lack of comforts in Ramlal's home or house, in his home, but Bholi was still neglected. She was neglected at home. Why? Because she fell off her cot, means once she fell off her cot or bed when she was just 10 months old, means when she was 10 months old, she fell off her bed and her brain suffered some damage. Due to that fall, her brain suffered damage and she was slow in learning things. She was very slow in learning the things. She was unable to learn quickly. So this is the brief introduction. So everyone called her Bholi. That is the reason that everyone called her Bholi, but actual name was Sulekha. An attack of smallpox at the age of 2 years leaves her pockmarked on her entire body. She learned to speak when she was 5, but she stammered. Everyone made fun of her. Even her parents took her to be just an ugly burden. So I hope you might have understood about Bholi's life. When Bholi was 10 months old, she fell off the cot, and when she was 2 years, at the time she was attacked by a disease, smallpox, and the smallpox left pock marks on her entire body. And by 5 years, by the age of 5 years, she could not speak, but she learnt speaking when she was 5. So she started stammering, means she learned speaking but with stammering. So everyone made fun of her. The other children often made fun of her and mimicked her. Even her own parents took her to be just an ugly burden because she was neither beautiful nor intelligent. Now next heading, it is Bholi was sent to school. Now what was the reason behind it? She was not sent to school just for her benefit. Actually the reason was something else. Once the Tehsildar came to inaugurate a new primary school in the village. So as we know that Ramlal was the Nambardar of the village. So he asked Ramlal to send his daughters, means Ramlal's daughters, to school. So Ramlal could not deny, could not say no to him, means he could not deny to Tehsildar. That's why he thought that Bholi should be sent to school. So his wife objects that no one would marry the girls if they went to school. This was their mentality. But then she felt that Bholi is ugly and it will be difficult to get her married. So they decided to send only Bholi to school. So this was the reason that Ramlal decided to send Bholi to the school. Now next heading, it is Bholi prepares for school. So now Bholi gets ready for school. Bholi was fearful. She was afraid of going to school. Actually she didn't know actual about school. So in beginning, at first she was very afraid. Then she was given new and clean clothes to wear. On that special day she was given special treatment. She was given new and clean clothes to wear. She was given a bath and her hair was oiled. So she was being prepared for school. Now she felt better because nobody cared about her, but on that day she was given this treatment. She thought of school as a nice place as she was getting ready for the school. So all these years no one had taken so much care of Bholi. That's why she was thinking that she was going to a better place. Now next heading, it is first day at school. Means Bholi's first day at school. What happened on that day? Bholi finds the classroom full of girls. Means there were other girls in the school like her, means of her age. She was afraid and sat in one corner. She was very afraid, so she went and sat in one corner of the class. She was attracted to the colorful pictures. There were colorful pictures in the classroom on the wall. So she got attracted. She was much impressed by the realistic pictures. There were many pictures who were very realistic, means they were looking very real, of birds and animals. Those pictures were of birds and animals. Next adding is generous teacher, means kind teacher. Here in Bholi's life, her teacher's role is very important. Her teacher was very generous, she was very kind, and the teacher asked her name. She asked her name. Bholi stammered. Bholi could not speak. She started stammering and then started crying because she thought that she was being insulted there. After the other children leave, the teacher who was there in the classroom came back to her. She came back to Bholi and she called her lovingly. She called her very lovingly. The teacher completely changed her life with her love and care. This time, Bholi, means Sulekha, was able to speak. Earlier, when she was asked about her name, she started stammering. But once again, her name was asked by the teacher very lovingly. So this time, Bholi was able to speak her name better. The teacher encouraged her. She asked her to be fearless. She asked Bholi not to be afraid. So she also told her to come to school regularly. Every day she was asked by her teacher. Bholi felt as if a new life was beginning. She thought or she felt as if a new life was going to begin for her. So this new life and new hope came from her teacher, who always tried to encourage her and motivate her. Now next heading, it is marriage plan of Bholi. So after getting education, her parents thought or planned of Bholi's marriage. So after a few years, means many years passed, Bholi's parents get a marriage proposal. They got a marriage proposal for Bholi, and this proposal was made by Bishambar, a grocer in the neighboring village. Ramlal is not very happy about this proposal. The man, means Bishambar, he was a widower with grown up children, means Bishambar had grown up children. So that's why Ramlal was not very happy. But his wife was unconcerned. His wife actually suggested to accept this proposal. She just feels, she means her mother, Bholi's mother, just feels that as Bholi was so ugly, she was very ugly, she was neither beautiful nor intelligent, she was so ugly, that proposal was good for her, means nobody was going to be married with Bholi as she was very ugly. So she thought that proposal was good. Her father, means Bholi's father, Ramlal, wants to know how Bholi felt about the proposal, means he wanted to ask from Bholi. But her mother refused to ask Bholi about this proposal, about this marriage proposal. Bholi was not asked because her mother thought that they should not ask anything of Bholi. Now after that, what happened? Bholi stands up for her rights, means she speaks for her rights. When the wedding, means Bholi's wedding, was about to take place, Bishambar Nath, who was a grocer, asks for 5,000 rupees as dowry to marry Bholi. So Bishambar Nath was a very greedy person. So he demanded 5,000 rupees to marry Bholi as she had poke marks. On the day of marriage, Bishambar Nath saw Bholi's poke marks. That's why he demanded dowry. He also threatens to walk away. He also threatens Bholi's parents to walk away from the ceremony. He said that he would go back. Ramlal was afraid of the humiliation, and so with tears, actually Ramlal started crying, and with tears in his eyes he hands the dowry. He hands the 5,000 rupees, means dowry, money to Bishambar, because Bishambar threatens Ramlal to go back, to walk away from the marriage ceremony. Now next heading, it is drastic change in Bholi's behavior. So Bishambar proceeds to garland Bholi after getting the money, but Bholi throws the garland. Bholi throws that garland away, and she asks her father to take back the money that was given to Bishambar. So she asked her father to take back the money, and she refuses to marry the greedy coward man. Means she refused to marry the greedy man Bishambar Nath. Everyone goes away, everyone gets back, and they all were surprised to see that Bholi, who was a dumb cow, she was speaking without any stammer. After this, Ramlal's condition was very bad, and he could not lift his head due to shame and grief. Now Ramlal asks her what she will do now. So she just tells him, means she tells her father that she would work as a teacher. She would work as a teacher in the same school where she had studied, where she had got education. She was also going to serve as a teacher there. Her education has changed her outlook. Now Ramlal worried, as who will marry her daughter now? So Bholi pacified her father and told him that she would serve her parents in their old age, and she would teach in the same school where she had learnt so much. So this is the story of Bholi, means Sulekha. Her real name was Sulekha, but she was called Bholi as she could not speak properly. She stammered, and she was neither beautiful nor intelligent. But education changed her life completely. So this is the importance of education in our life. Now let us talk about your homework. Homework is to read the chapter thoroughly and answer the following questions. So first question is, why is Bholi's father worried about her? Means, why is Ramlal worried about Bholi? Second question, for what unusual reason is Bholi sent to school? Bholi is sent to school due to which reason, that you have to tell. Third question, does Bholi enjoy her first day at school? This is our third question. Now see next. Fourth question is, does she find her teacher different from the people at home? Does she find her teacher to be different from the people at home? Next question, why does the marriage not take place? Sixth question, Bholi had many apprehensions about going to school. So, what made her feel that she was going to a better place? She was going to a better place than her home. So, these are the questions. You are supposed to read the chapter completely and find out the answers of given questions. I hope you have understood this chapter. Thank you.